Imagine watching a human step onto another world for the very first time. Millions of people held their breath as history unfolded live. Today we dive into July 21st, a date filled with extraordinary achievements, historic battles, and milestones in human exploration. Our first story begins on the early hours of July 21st, 1969, when astronaut Neil Armstrong prepared to leave the Apollo 11 lunar module Eagle after it successfully landed on the moon. As millions around the globe watched via television cameras transmitting grainy black and white images, Armstrong carefully climbed down the ladder and placed his left foot onto the lunar surface. He famously spoke the words that would echo through history. "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Shortly after, Buzz Aldrin joined him, describing the moon's landscape as magnificent desolation. The astronauts spent about 2.5 hours outside the lunar module, collecting rock and soil samples, deploying scientific instruments, taking photographs, and planting the American flag. Meanwhile, Michael Collins remained aboard the command module, orbiting the moon and awaiting their return. The success of Apollo 11 fulfilled President John F. Kennedy's ambitious goal of landing humans on the moon before the end of the 1960s, and more than 50 years later, it remains one of humanity's greatest achievements in science and exploration. Transitioning to another pivotal moment in history, on July 21, 1861, Union and Confederate forces clashed near Manassas, Virginia, in the First Battle of Bull Run, also known as the First Battle of Manassas. Many believed that the American Civil War would conclude quickly, but the Confederate victory at Bull Run exposed the grim reality that the conflict would be lengthy, costly, and devastating. This battle reshaped military expectations and marked the beginning of 4 years of intense warfare that would profoundly transform the United States. Fast-forwarding to July 21, 2011, we witnessed the final chapter of another era in exploration. Space Shuttle Atlantis landed at Kennedy Space Center, completing STS-135, the last mission of NASA's Space Shuttle program. For 30 years, the Space Shuttle fleet carried astronauts into orbit, launched satellites, repaired the Hubble Space Telescope, and played a central role in constructing the International Space Station. The landing of Atlantis marked the conclusion of a significant chapter in spaceflight, paving the way for a new era focused on commercial crew missions and future exploration beyond Earth. A historic milestone occurred on July 21, 1831, when Leopold I took the constitutional oath as the first king of the Belgians, establishing Belgium as an independent constitutional monarchy. Today, July 21 is celebrated as Belgium's National Day, marked with parades, ceremonies, and public celebrations across the nation. Some notable individuals celebrate their birthdays on July 21, including the renowned Nobel Prize-winning author Ernest Hemingway, the beloved actor and comedian Robin Williams, and the American actor Josh Hartnett. From humanity's first footprint on another world to battles that reshaped nations, and the conclusion of an era in space exploration, July 21 serves as a powerful reminder that history is driven by courage, innovation, and determination. As we reflect on the events of this day, we invite you to consider which July 21 event you believe had the most significant impact on our world. Join us in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's episode of This Day in History, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily journey through history. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with another fascinating chapter from history.